Tonight, we have probably what I consider to be the highest skill panel that I've hosted so far. Some of you are familiar with the debate scene, so I'm going to expect that you all know how to be able to make space for yourself to speak, and will only try to cut in when rules are broken or to ask pressing questions to the panel, but you can always DM me if you would like me to cut it in for you. I'm tentatively planning for this panel to run for about 2 hours, or until the conversation has resolved, whichever is first. And again, I have a new official website where you can support my work. Please visit RileyGraceRochong.com to check out cool merch and to consider making a generous donation. With that, here are the rules for tonight. Number 1, if I'm talking, stop talking. I don't want to participate, so if I get involved, it's either to stimulate conversation or to get things back on track. Number 2, at least be respectful of me. Y'all can hang on each other. I expect that there's going to be a lot of I don't know what I expect actually. But I'm putting in a lot of work to make this happen, so don't make my life harder than necessary. And number 3, stay on topic. Related tangents are fine, but don't dig up unrelated personal trauma, and try not to box below the belt. With that, that's it. Let's go around and have our panelists briefly introduce themselves. And I'm going to go in the order of largest combined YouTube and TikTok followings to smallest. So Andrew Wilson, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Andrew Wilson. I'm the host of The Crucible. I'm a political analyst, a political satirist, and I engage in debates of all kinds all around the world. I appreciate being on the panel tonight with all of you, except for Dylan, except for Down syndrome Burns. But everybody else is awesome, and I'm glad to see all of you here.
Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Up next, you know what? That's a great segue. Dylan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Down syndrome Burns. I'm a war journalist and political streamer. I stream Monday through Fridays, and I cover the war in Ukraine on the ground, embedded with the Ukrainian armed forces. Film documentary, stuff like that. Release them on YouTube, free charge.
Cool. Thank you so much. Up next, we got the Misfit Patriot. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, the Misfit Patriot. I do the TMP Uncensored podcast on Rumble. I have a YouTube. I don't really use it, but you can find me on X and Instagram. I do debates sometimes, but mostly I just talk shit on Twitter, and that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here. Up next, we've got She's Right. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm She's Right. You can support me at she'srightshow.com. And I'm a concerned American.
Cool. Up next, we've got Andrew JD. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's going on? Name's Andrew. I'm taking the position that none of this matters.
Cool. Thanks. And we'll be able to go, like the people who reach out to me to ask for openings, y'all will have an opportunity to do so.
True.
Up next, we've got Unreasonable Man. Would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, you're muted. Do you got it?
I got it.
Cool. All right, go ahead.
Got me now. All right, cool. Yeah, for some reason it changed my mic when I came in. No worries. I'm Grid One Motorsports. I do a podcast 4 or 5 times a week. Like to do cool stuff on the internet and talk about interesting things. That's about it, I guess.
Cool. Thank you. Up next, we've got Logix. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Logix. Do a lot of social commentary, politics a little bit, and debunking on YouTube.
Cool. Thank you. And then lastly, we have Confluence. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Confluence 358 on YouTube. I make a lot of political commentary videos and a lot of reaction stuff to the Whatever podcast. And yeah, you can find me there. I'm center right most of the time, but here I'm a centrist.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right. And with that, I will go. With that, the topic for today is, what about the Epstein files? I'm leaving it intentionally open-ended because there are so many ways I expect that people are interested in taking this. How important are the files? Why have they not been discussed why have they not been discussed as much lately? What do we make of what we know at this point? Tonight, we can discuss all of this and more. So per my request in the Discord, I'm going to begin with the people who reached out to me beforehand to request opening statements, and then I'll ask if anyone else would like to make one before we launch into the main discussion. So Andrew JD, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. My position on the Epstein files is that nobody really cares. Everyone loves to pretend that they do. Whatever side gets the opportunity to wield anything related to the Epstein files in a way that could damage the other side, they will take that opportunity to do so. And when they do not have an opportunity to either defend or attack, they will ignore it like it doesn't exist. because none of us really care. Nobody really cares. There's probably nothing in there that's ultra damaging to Trump. Maybe he will get a little red in the cheeks from whatever is contained within. If there was anything criminal, he'd be in jail, or at least he would have been charged already. And if there was anything, my guess would be if there was anything like political career ending, that would have gotten leaked already. So my overall position is that this is a waste and there's real issues to talk about.
All right, thank you so much. Up next, we've got She's Right Show. Would you like to make an opening?
Really, I mean, I just kind of think that leaders should have integrity and do what they say. And I think it's pretty concerning to see a whole political party backflip. And I think that raises a lot of good concerns about potential corruption and dishonesty in our system.
All right. And lastly, for the people who reached out to me, we have Confluence. Would you like to make an opening statement?
Yeah, mine's about 2 minutes. So if it gets like boring, just feel free to cut me off. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go. 2 minutes
But-
should be fine. Like usually around 5 minutes is like my hard cap. So yeah,
Okay.
that should be fine.
Perfect. Okay. Everything around Jeffrey Epstein, both his life and his death, should be heavily scrutinized, and all of us on all sides should be asking more questions about the Epstein files and what they contain. None of it makes sense, including his life, his death, and what we've been told about the files. Despite being born to middle-class parents, a teacher's assistant, and a gardener, his life was a repeated pattern of failing upwards. From dropping out of college and landing a job as a teacher adult in a prestigious school for the children of the elite, for which he was fired, to then getting hired at an investment firm, dodging an SEC allegation of insider trading, getting fired again with no prosecution, then joining a debt collection company, Towers Financial, whose sole purpose was seemingly to vampirize other companies, which ended up being implicated in one of the largest Ponzi schemes in U.S. history, to which Epstein's partner received 25 years in jail, and Epstein received, you guessed it, nothing, to then magically opening his own investment firm where he wouldn't accept clients whose net worth was below $1 billion, and somehow becoming a jet-setting socialite that rubbed elbows with the world's elites, including billionaires, tech geeks, royalty, Saudi princes, celebrities, prime ministers, you name it. He did heinous things. I'm sure I don't need to repeat them. He dodged prosecutions magically, serving a paltry 13 months in jail thanks to a sweetheart deal from Alex Acosta, during which he was allowed out of jail 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, before finally being later brought down when the political pressure became insurmountable. His death is just as mysterious, with missing footage, failing cameras, broken protocol, falsified guard logs, and inconsistent reporting. So the man that is Jeffrey Epstein is a true enigma, and remember, those never age, and clearly something is suspicious with every element of his life. I see myself as being in the center on this because I think everyone is likely involved, both the left and the right, with covering up the Epstein files. Trump's administration has repeatedly switched their stories from promising to release the client list to having the client list on Pam Bondi's desk, to then the client list having never actually existed in the first place, to then it being a Democrat hoax, to then Trump being an FBI informant, to then, oh wait, just kidding about that last part. None of it adds up, none of it makes sense, and I think everyone is hiding something and blames the other side when it's convenient for themselves politically. The death of Charlie Kirk has, perhaps conveniently so, moved the conversation away from Epstein, but I suppose that's why we're here having this panel, because we're not being given answers and everyone is to blame.
Great, thank you. That is everyone who reached out to me beforehand. Now, before we move into the main discussion, does anyone else like really pressingly want to make an opening statement? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to y'all. Not seeing any hands? All right, then the floor is open. Anyone can take it anywhere they'd like to. I have my own questions, but that's just in case, you know, the conversation is dried up or y'all need some direction where you want to take it.
Yeah, I'll start. So I kind of agree with pretty much what Andrew JD said, where it's being weaponized on both sides, and it really doesn't matter that much anymore. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2006 under George Bush. He was arrested in 2019 under Donald Trump. 2 Republican administrations have arrested him, and 0 Democrats. So there was 3 administrations prior to Trump, and now Trump's giving blame for everything regarding Jeffrey Epstein, when we know that there was almost 20 years where anything that was in the files that was of pertinent information probably was deleted or is no longer available. So what about the Epstein files? My question is always the same. What Epstein files? I don't think they exist. So everyone's asking for something that Donald Trump can't produce and blaming him for 3 prior administrations that might have had plenty of time with, in conjunction with, you know, all the nefarious actors that might even be related to the Jeffrey Epstein files, deleting shit as they go. But essentially, after this long, give it the fuck up, because while we all want to see the Epstein files, that's like saying I want to see Santa Claus. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's gone. Bye.
So
Yeah, I
what's
mean,
your
I can
spin?
agree it's a Wizard of Oz sort of thing, right? Like none of this actually. I agree with Andrew JD. I disagree with Confluence. While as a constitutional conservative, my stance has always be, hey, absolute transparency. The people have a right to know. It all should be released with just redactions
This
to
panel's fucking
protect
boring.
actual victims and not political or
This panel's
or
fucking
financial
boring,
wizards.
and I lost
that we
interest
don't
in it
care
the
about.
second we got on it.
The reality is I don't think there ever was any files. I don't think, and we know that because the FBI said we don't have any files. We're gathering information now. They never said that they had a stack full of files back in 2019 and 2020. They never said that. They just said, yeah, we're investigating.
You guys
And
don't even
then
have to watch
we go
this.
into the
You can go take a nap.
And Biden
Go take a nap somewhere.
could have released anything he wanted to release.
Go take a
right?
nap. Go do
And
anything.
to
Go watch
believe-
the
and
sports
I'll
ball. Go
agree
watch
with
your
Andrew
fucking
JD
sports
again.
ball.
If they had had
Go watch
anything
sports
on
ball, 'cause
Trump,
this panel fucking sucks,
you can
dude.
be guaranteed they would have released it. They would have ended that man's career if they could have, and they didn't. So there's nothing there. You absolutely know. I mean, this is just what happens is anytime somebody starts looking too
We don't have to
closely at
jump in.
tariffs,
We'll be
anytime
nice and
somebody starts looking
patient
too closely at the new
because
prison systems that they're selling
somebody
off,
for the
or
purpose of clout
anything-
will come after me.
anything
Trust
that nobody
me.
wants
That's what
you
they
to look
always
at,
do.
They trot out
They
at
always
Cheney
do it.
Ghost.
Every time.
Put it on parade so that both sides take the bait. Now you have Democrats clamoring to release this data, and nobody cares because it doesn't matter.
So
That's
why do you
just where
think
it
it was? Why do you think it was promised to us? Like
I thought people
you guys
were gonna
saying
fucking
there's
bring
no
some
client
serious
list. Why did
shit,
JD
man.
Vance say release the
Campaign
list? Why did
promises are like water? They
Yeah,
dry
Bondi-
up.
Right, but then I
Bondi-
guess we can't complain when Trump can't complain when people are still talking about Epstein when all of his administration said that they would release the client list. They had the client list and they keep changing their story every like 5 minutes. Like then of course people are going to be like, well, you said there was more files. Are you going to release them? Then they release the footage and the footage has been edited in Adobe Premiere and has like a minute cut of it. Is not what Kash Patel promised. Like these are the issue is just
this
under
guy's right about
delivered
this.
promises, right? Like so I guess what's
He's
the
actually
take on
right.
like why are they doing that? Why not just say we didn't have them in the first place?
I guess
They've
that's
been
where
extremely performative. I mean, the Pam Bondi binder scandal was pretty embarrassing to get all these social influencers and for everybody who participated in it directly, especially to go out there to hold up these binders to give that shit-eating grin like you're participating in history, and it had nothing of relevance in it. And that's why afterwards they said, well, we have to make all these legal requests. We have to, subpoena the grand jury testimony, not all the testimony, but the grand jury testimony. I have the files on my desk. Never mind. Well, I might have them on my desk, but I'm not going to release them. And they just ran in circles after making these big declarative statements. It's the party or the administration, more the people around Trump than Trump himself, set up the rake to stomp on it themselves. It's mostly a crisis of their own creation.
I
agree
guess
with you
that's
there,
where
and
that's where I come in with this. I'm kind of in between because I feel like this is
Good night,
all
Bob.
something that Trump and his administration created, and now they got the shit on their face for not producing what they promised. I don't think whatever Trump's name is in these files, I don't think it's anything incriminating. I think he just had probably business ventures with Epstein, and they were friends, so he visited and whatnot. I don't think Trump has necessarily done anything criminal, at least nothing in the files that exist have been. And Kash Patel, Bondi, all of them was just talking out of their ass until they got in office and realized, oh shit, it's really nothing to see. But I'm just reveling in the fact that the right is tripping all over themselves to either want to see it or not see it. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, most people on the right have called out Bondi, myself included. A lot of people have acknowledged that they have fucked this up. But here's what happened, okay? A bunch of people started screaming, release the Epstein files, putting pressure on Pam Bondi to release something that didn't exist. Then she said that she was going to release something that didn't exist. And then when she couldn't deliver something that didn't exist, everybody said, why did you promise a thing that didn't exist? Because she fucked up. And look, I'm not going to give her...
she fucked up doesn't explain why. Why?
Because everyone was pressuring her to release something that she did not have.
Why did she
They
lie
all
about it?
fucked up. They all said that they would release more than they
Yes,
did.
but
Like,
were you listening earlier? There were 3 prior administrations that this could have been released.
Which one gave him the sweetheart deal?
What? Bush?
Yep.
Yeah, Bush. Fuck Bush. All right.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's
Can
about.
the
Why did Trump
conclusion
job?
here not just be that Pam Bondi is fucking terrible at her job and she just shouldn't be in that position? Can that?
Well, I mean,
can that-
Who put her in that job?
I mean, for all you,
That's
for all
one
you
well,
kind
know,
I would agree with you.
yeah.
It's Trump's fault, but I think the conclusion is like, okay, Pam, you fucking suck at this, and you're gone. Sorry.
Oh, she should be fired.
I want her fired.
I mean,
But
yep.
but it could just
It's
be
not
as
just
easy
her,
as
it's
saying
JD
the
Vance,
FBI says,
too.
"Hey, we've got this
Ash
file
Patel.
and we're holding it. Nobody can see it." So then they get in there and they say, "Okay, bring me the file." Well, yeah, we'll bring it to you. But they never do because it doesn't exist. It was all just smoke
Well,
and
I
mirrors
mean,
the whole time.
if it was just Pam Bondi, maybe. It wasn't just Pam Bondi, though. Cash Patel went on the Joe Rogan podcast, the most popular podcast in the United States, and he said not only would they release the evidence of the footage of the security cam video, which wasn't outside of his cell, by the way, was on a wall completely the opposite side. So he's already not delivering what he promised. That those cameras were not working. Then
Do
after
you mean
promising
Patel or
the raw
Bongino?
footage, he delivers the footage. It is not raw. It was edited in Adobe Premiere, and it didn't have all of it. There was time missing, about a minute that they said had to do with the system cutting out a minute at the end of every day. But he under-delivered what he promised. And then Dan Bonagino, I believe his name is pronounced,
Bongino.
the deputy under him, he did like a protest, it was like a student walkout. He went home. He wouldn't come to work for a week.
Yeah, and Theo Vaughn had a podcast with JD Vance where JD Vance said he'd release it. And then Donald Trump himself was on Lex Friedman and when asked said he would release it. So we have everybody saying that this client list exists. So like, why is everyone making stuff
you
up?
don't have them saying it. That's
Yeah, they said they
No,
should
there's
be
no
released. There's
debate.
separation of powers. They don't have
Just
they're
this is just
leaving
people
it up to the
bitching.
judiciary to do the judiciary's job. That's the executive. They don't. It's that's
right.
what separation
You
of powers
keep
is for.
saying this like they had it and then they just decided not to have it. It's like if Misfit Patriot tells me, "Hey man, I've got the dirt on your boy over there," and I say, "Okay, cool, give it to me," and he says, "Yeah, I'll get it to you." 2 weeks later, I say, "Hey man, I really got to have this. I got to have it." "Yeah, I'll get it to you." So then I go over there and he says, "Look, man, I never had anything. Or actually, I had something, but I got 2 sheets of paper that just says bullshit." And I go, "Dude, you just fucked me. Like now I promised all these people this stuff and it doesn't exist. And now you fucked me."
So
You
who did
guys
the
are
original?
literally
Who did the
relying-
original
hold on.
fucking though? I guess.
Nobody, we were relying on the FBI to say what they had. They never disclosed anything. Now, the real questions are, did they really
know.
have terabytes?
They're just repeating the same fucking
Terabytes
talking
of
points,
data
dude.
It's
from
important
the
to
video,
remember
from the video
they-
cameras inside the compound. I don't think they did. I don't think they ever had any of that.
I don't know what the
think they
point of
never
this
did.
is.
Why
They
wouldn't they
released-
have that? They had like there was
I
like
don't think it
600
ever
cameras
existed.
all over Epstein's property and like
Sure.
3 of his
I don't think
properties.
they were recording a damn thing.
in private residence, like in private bedrooms, they were all over. None of those cameras. So
Hey,
we
maybe it
trust
was
the
deleted-
FBI now
maybe it
that
was
they didn't find
deleted.
anything, but we trust them that they found like 300 gigabytes or whatever it was of like
Hold on, maybe-
camera footage.
First of all, they did release files, right? They didn't release files that you like, but they released files. I think there was like 80,000 pages of documents.
Yeah,
and
but it
they-
was nothing that the
Hold on,
public
hold
didn't
on,
already know.
Hold on. And who's to say that all the information that you're talking about that did exist at one point wasn't deleted under the Biden administration?
We
Right?
would
You
know
can't.
if they released the files.
Why wouldn't they
Biden-
clearly say that?
Like, why are they hiding from that then?
Well, because they can't prove who deleted something because the thing is not there. So they're just saying it's been
Is
deleted.
that-
They
is
don't
this-
know who deleted it.
Is that what this whole panel is? Is it just bitching about the way in which this information has been released by the Trump administration, or did you guys have actual
Feels
criticism?
like it.
Or did you have actual criticisms or accusations to make against the Trump administration that
Do
they're
you not think
covering?
that
That they're
incompetence is
cutting on.
concerning?
Hang on. Let me ask the
That lives
question.
matter?
Shut up, lady, while I ask the question. So the question's really simple. Are you making an accusation that Trump is somehow nefariously tied up with Epstein? Are you making an accusation that there's a cover-up afoot? Why don't you just say what you mean so we can get to the heart of it, and so I don't have to listen to an Epstein Yelp review, and we can have an actual debate here?
All right, Andrew's being dangerously based. I don't like it. All right, my accusation would be that I hit it in my opening. My accusation would be Trump is probably embarrassed by the fact that he was friends with a criminal. That's what's in the files. It's gonna be like these dudes were pretty decently close friends, and he is definitely
Until he banned him
sex
from all of the
trafficker.
properties, right? Until he banned him of all the
Still.
Mar-a-Lago properties, and then on top of
Would
that,
you still say it's not an embarrassment
no,
when that
I
comes
don't think
out? Like,
so.
they were friends for years?
I think, like for instance, Chuck Schumer had introduced a bill which was trying to get the Epstein files released, but he attached it to a defense bill. And Chuck Schumer was heavily donated to by Epstein himself. They knew that the Republicans were going to block that because they attached it to another bill, right? This was all partisan politics and game playing. None of them had any intention whatsoever of actually releasing any of this. So the question here, really, for me, is what are you exactly accusing Trump of doing, or Trump's administration of doing? Because if all you're saying is they waffled on how to release this stuff, fine. I'll concede that point. The right has heavily criticized them for doing that. But do you have something more, or is it just like the last 17 weeks of everybody bitching about Epstein without actually making any sort of accusations about anything?
Well, there's plenty of accusations. I just don't know if any of us believe any of them.
Well, I mean, it's just not going to go anywhere.
I don't know if we got anyone on here that is deep in the conspiracies.
I'm curious, actually. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but what do you think about the Wall Street Journal, the Enigmas Never Age, that whole thing? I mean, Trump is obviously suing them, but it seems ballsy and just nonsensical if the Wall Street Journal doesn't know the provenance of that and is just running with that. So to me,
yeah, right.
No.
Give me a break. Do you know how many times these major media outlets have had to retract stories later on about Trump?
This would be like a huge
about Trump's story. Yeah, but they do it all the time, man. They do it all the time.
Are you talking about
this
the
one?
letter?
The doodle.
But until that happens, I mean, we can say that about anything. Like, oh, you know, it might get retracted. What about the fact that it looks pretty credible at this moment in time?
Doesn't look. Hang on. Does it look credible, or are you just a fucking Democrat and you want it to be true? Like, which thing do you think is more likely from my position that suddenly we're going to start believing the Wall Street Journal without having? Well, what's the actual evidence here? Can you show me what the actual evidence is that they're presenting of this?
It came from his birthday book.
Oh, right. So Trump says, nope, not my signature. JD Vance comes out and says,
your argument? He says it's not mine.
Let me make my argument. Let me make the argument, and then you'll know my argument. So the argument's simple, right? Trump says, nope, not my signature. JD Vance comes out, says the whole thing is a hoax. The burden's on who? You. You know who doesn't have the burden to prove themselves innocent? Trump. You guys have to show a satisfying amount beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the case for the public to believe it, because right now they don't. The reason that they don't is because of all the misinformation that fucking Democrats have put out about Trump before, and the fact that we know Democrats don't give a shit about this. We know that with that Willie Jefferson Clinton was out on Epstein Island all the time. He went at least 4 times, recorded, right? No, Democrats don't care about that. They don't care about their own administration. What do you mean? That's in the official release files. The Democrats don't give. Almost done, bro. Almost done. 1 second. Democrats don't give, and you'll get plenty of time to respond. Plenty of time to respond. Calm the fuck down. So look, Democrats don't care. They don't care. They're not looking at this in a credible way to try to clean their own house either. You're just trying to hurt Trump with it. You don't actually care about it.
Okay, so there was an actual letter. Hold on. There was an actual letter from Bill Clinton in that little birthday book thing too, right? And it was a handwritten letter. My question to everybody who believes that that was a real letter from Donald Trump, did you actually look at it? It says voiceover at the top of it, right? It is a voiceover it's a transcript. That doesn't make any sense. It sounds ridiculous. And then,
well, I mean, I'm going to give you guys fucking good content, okay? I'm going to give you guys fucking entertainment. I'm not going to let these Democrats
Andrew, you're muted.
Just walk around being Democrats. I'm not doing it.
Andrew talks to his own chat sometimes.
So I'm trying to understand how they get it out his birthday book, and then they present it as the evidence, and Andrew's like, where's the evidence? I've never heard of such bullshit.
No. That's not what I said.
You don't believe it.
Yeah,
You don't believe it.
Nope. I'm going to give you.
It's not credible.
I'm going to give you the counter here. The counter is this: that when you make an accusation, if you say, Andrew signed my birthday card, and I say, that guy's a fucking liar, I didn't sign it, and that's not my signature, you then need to prove that it is, fuckhead. I don't have to go and prove that I didn't do anything. You got to prove that I did, so prove it.
What version of proof would that be? What does that look like?
I want to know.
Do you hear what I just said? Prove it. Prove it's his. Prove it's his signature, and he actually signed it.
Proof beyond those signatures being damn near identical.
You could have eyewitnesses who were there, who saw it. You could have multiple corroborating evidences, which would prove that Trump was false. You could do all sorts of things.
Imagine this barrier standard for everything.
I know. Imagine having evidence for actual evidentiary claims.
A few good examples of Trump's doing, because now it will be brought before a court of law, and so we will get get to see this information come out through the legal process
Yeah.
and see exactly what led the New York Times to make this conclusion that this was credible enough to release. And so this is something where we can all literally just wait and see. And so
Agreed.
it's also a story that's probably not going to go away.
I'm
Well,
just
I mean-
curious, Andrew, what do you think about like the Woody Allen signature, the Alan Dershowitz, the bill? Do you think the whole book is a fraud, or is your theory that just the Trump one is a fraud, or are you agnostic on it?
Well, it remains to be seen. You know exactly what's going on with the birthday book. So here's the thing that's really funny is like you guys all know this. You all cover media. Initial reports on almost everything that the media puts out there are wrong. And we know that they're wrong almost all the time, which is why we've now gotten into the era in the last 2 years especially of commentators like all of you. The second a story comes out saying, wait, before I give a take, I'm going to wait for a little bit more information to come out, a little bit more clarification to come out, because if I don't, I'm going to get egg on my face. Except for stupid Democrats. Can't help themselves, right? Going to rush head first into the, see, Trump's a pedophile, is on pedophile island with pedophile Epstein. It's like, shut up. Just wait for the evidence to come out. Or show me the proof. Show me the actual proof other than, well, they just reported that. We have this card here, so therefore it's true. Fuck that.
The problem is,
Andrew, your president just went on TV and said, don't take Tylenol because of whatever. Like, stop talking about Democrats being stupid. This is ridiculous.
My president did not go out on TV and say, stop taking Tylenol because whatever. You just made that shit up.
There's enough, because it's enough evidence to where it's very much so probable that he did write the letter. And keep in mind, I'm also somebody that said, I don't think Trump did anything necessarily illegal. I just think that his name is in there and he's embarrassed for it to come out.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Let's see if we can get through the facts.
With Epstein.
Let's see.
I don't necessarily think he's done anything illegal.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't make the claim you did, but let's just go through the facts. Do you agree with me that Trump said he didn't sign the letter? He didn't sign that. And do you agree that J.D. Vance came out with a tweet and said that it was a hoax? That is not correct. It's not correct information. Do you agree with both of those facts?
I agree, but that means shit.
Okay, so if you agree with those facts, then what we have is we have contested evidence. One person says that this is the case, the other one doesn't. So now we're looking for the corroborating evidence to prove one false and one not false. You're like the guy who comes out and says, oh, that chick over there claims she was raped last night.
No,
and then the guy put him in jail, and then we find out later that never happened.
Did I say put him in jail?
No, I'm giving you an analogy. Do you know what an analogy is? How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
All I said was the evidence seems a bit credible. I didn't say put him in jail.
Yeah, the evidence also seems a bit not credible. It's contested.
It's like you just want to play defense for Trump, and it's pathetic.
You just want to play offense on Trump. Look,
JD Vance didn't do it.
Yeah,
JD Vance
you know what?
didn't do
I
it.
bet you anything that if I go back through your content and get your takes on Destiny when it was coming out that he was, doing things with underage kids, I bet your take is let's stop and wait till we got more information. I'll bet anything that was your take. Am I going to find that if we go back through your shit? Am I going to find you saying with Destiny to slow down and wait for more information? Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the fucking question, Spurg. Shut up, Spurg. If I go back through your shit, shut up, Spurg. If I go back through your shit, stop talking. Stop talking so I can ask the question.
You already said the same shit about
all you're doing is filibustering. All you're doing is filibustering. Filibustering. Still filibustering. Still filibustering. You're still filibustering.
Muted on your end, but they are on mine. All right. We're all going to take a deep breath. Oh, they're not muted on your end? Okay. It might just be for me.
We can still hear them. No,
okay.
I was gonna ask Logic's.
Can I finish my exchange? Like, I want to ask this guy the question.
No, you said the same shit.
No, I want to ask him the question, and without him filibustering. Let me ask him the question without him filibustering.
Right,
if I go through your fucking content, and I'll do it right now, I'll have the audience go through it, and we get to your take on what happened with Destiny, am I going to find you saying, guys, let's take a second and make sure that we got all the facts before we rush to judgment?
That's years old. I mean,
I've done that. I've done that for Destiny. I've done that for Andrew Tate. I've done that for Candace Owens. I've done that for Donald Trump.
But you're not going to do it for Trump. Not going to do it for Trump.
You're just arguing with
fucking blown out, dummy. He got blown out, dummy. Just sit there.
Fucking idiot. You're not making any sense.
Blown out.
Said Trump isn't guilty of everything. You sound stupid as fuck.
You made your point, Andrew. Andrew, you made your point. I want to get this hey, Mr. Patriot, let me just get this reset. Andrew, you made your point. Okay.
That was fun.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get this back onto the Epstein files. I have a question I'd like to ask the panel about, but Andrew, or Confluent, sorry. Is there something that you wanted to ask about?
Yeah, there's just a brief thing, I guess. Like, I think one of the problems with Trump is that his running defense makes people suspicious of him. Like with the doodle thing as an example, I'm not saying this is proof at all to Andrew and others. I'm just saying that when he's asked about his response was like Prince Andrew's response about how he didn't sweat, where Trump said, well, I don't doodle. And then it comes out that he like does a doodle every year in a charitable way to that organization. So it's like, why say you don't doodle if you doodle every year? Like, it's just the defense is so like, why say that? So it just makes people like me suspicious. I'm not saying it's 100%.
So let me give you an easy counter here. So, for instance, tonight I have my notes up, right? And I'm taking notes, and the audience can see that I'm taking notes and things like that, like I do in most debates. Now, usually the audience can't see me when I'm taking notes. I usually don't put them up in a way that they can see. So if somebody said, I saw your notes on that debate, and I said to them, look, I don't put my notes up during debates, right? So my recollection is like, I almost never do, right? And most people talk when they talk to each other. That's how they talk. They don't use exact precision with like current event precision with the things that they're discussing, especially when it comes to something as stupid as doodling. Trump probably
does
doesn't.
One every year, every single year.
Let me finish the point. If you ask me the question, I'll finish the point.
Occasion, dude.
Yeah.
So the thing is like, yeah, that's great, right? But this guy probably doesn't actually doodle, and he's probably just like, whatever, who cares? Not even thinking about it in those terms. You though, the psychotic tinfoil hat person, what they tend to do is they tend to take things that they would give literally excuse anybody else for, and hold some ridiculously high standard for somebody else when they say things off the cuff.
You need
Can I finish my exchange before you spurg out, lady?
You can't.
No, I can't.
Everyone,
It's kind of like a squirrel.
chill for a second.
Maybe
All right,
closer to
Andrew,
your
hold
mic.
on. Andrew, finish your point.
Yeah. So anyway,
she's right,
that's
you
my
can follow
point.
up.
I'm just saying that it seems like people are very uncharitable towards Trump, or even towards politicians in general, when it comes to their off-the-cuff statements like that, right? He probably isn't a doodler. And yeah, fine. Once a year, he does a doodle in something. He doesn't care. He's not even thinking about it in those terms, man.
For a special occasion. For a special occasion.
Don't you think that that's
not like
reasonable? Like,
No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't.
you
I think
don't, of
you
course
do
not.
charitable
I think
doodle.
Hold on,
like
pause
Trump.
real quick.
I
She's
like
right.
Trump.
I know she's right. Wanted to say something, so if you want to speak up, then you can go now.
Why are Republicans blocking the bipartisan effort led by Representative Khanna and Representative Massey to release everything?
Because they keep adding other shit into it.
well, yeah. So the first release, my understanding was they added that to a Defense Authorization Act.
That's not what I'm asking about.
Yeah. Can you? I'll give you the timeline. Like, I can pull the timeline up.
That's not what I'm asking about.
Okay. What are you asking about?
No, you know exactly what I'm asking about. Do you
Okay.
support the bipartisan effort of Ro Khanna and Massey?
Yeah, I think that all the Trump files should be released to the public. Every single one of them, regardless of what they say. Most Republicans, by and large, agree with me. Most Republican constituency, by and large, agree with me.
Most Republicans in Congress don't, for some reason.
Actually, what's happened is,
All Democrats
like
do.
when it comes to Kash Patel, there was 3 federal judges which said to Kash Patel that there was a prosecutorial deal which was going on, and there could be very good reasons behind the scenes as to why it is that they're not releasing those files, because it could compromise investigations by the DOJ into other things. Yes, I do. Would you like for us to? Would you like to go through the Kash Patel timeline where he discusses how 3 different federal judges gave injunctions for him doing these releases? You didn't know that?
Correct.
Did you not know that? Can you answer my question? Shh. Can you answer my question? Did you know that or not, lady? Yeah, take another drink. Did you know it or not?
How you?
Did you know it or not? Did you know
Is that corroborated?
Can you answer my
Do other
question?
people see it?
Can you answer my question? Did you know? Did you know that there was federal injunctions or not? Did you know it or not?
Yeah.
Okay. When did that happen? Do you remember that? No. You didn't know. You had no fucking idea. You have no idea what you're talking. Just sit there. Just sit there. Let the adults talk. This is ridiculous. You don't know anything about this case. Nothing. Nothing.